They come round the final bend. It's Charlie Lister and Piers Aphonic with a length lead. Kinda Ready's closing. Kinda Ready got there.
It was the night of my life to be part of the Derby final, and then when we won it, it exceeded everything I'd ever dreamed of. From then onwards, it was all about giving a bit back. For a few years, for 5 or 6 years, I've sort of had the idea of running an extreme distance, and obviously when we won the Derby, my mind was made up that I wouldn't keep putting it off. I'd find the time, hopefully, work commitments and whatnot, and it was just a really good opportunity to give something back to the sport, which has treated us, so fantastically.
At the time, I said I couldn't wish for any better owner than Daren to win a Derby. The amount he puts into the game, him and his syndicate with the kind of dogs is tremendous, and obviously, to win a Derby for him was not just good for us; it was great for them. A true reward for all his breeding programs and the good dogs that they've had down the years with us.
Well, on April the 2nd, we're gonna start off in John O'Groats, hopefully run a marathon a day, 27 consecutive days, ending up in Land's End, hopefully, fingers crossed, on April the 27th.
Daren told me about these plans a couple of years ago, that he wanted to do something, and I thought he was mad then, and I must admit I still think he's mad now, but it's a fantastic to try and do this for greyhound racing and for help for the heroes as well. It's really good.
The Retired Greyhound Trust is so important for the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very important for the sport. They make fantastic pets. It's a fantastic charity, and it needs people to realise what it does, why it does it, and that's why we're supporting it.
Now, it was always obviously going to be Retired Greyhound Trust, but tell us about the Help for Heroes, how that became sort of the dual charity. Obviously
there's a connection. I'm sure most people in the country are connected in some way with our young guys that have been sent out to Afghanistan and other places. Rob Long, who's a young guy that worked for us up until last year, was out in Afghanistan for 3 weeks. He was blinded in an explosion, lost his best friend. It's just an example of the terrible things that are happening out there. They need our support. It speaks for itself.
Daren gave me one of my first jobs. I worked for him on the building site for a couple of years.
And what's he like as a boss?
Well, I thought I'd join the army after working for him for a year. I thought I'd have an easier time of it.
He looks great. 9 months ago he was in a bad place, but the guys at the hospital really looked after him. Help for Heroes is such a great cause. It speaks for itself. He's been so well looked after, and he's in a good place today.
One of the great things about Help for Heroes is it's really direct. The charity, you feel like the benefits straight away. When I woke up in hospital, they were there, just providing the basic things, because they've been through it and they've done it with so many guys. Like just the basic things you need, like socks and boxes, and waking up, you've got a set of trainers so you can actually walk out of the hospital when you're ready.
Yeah. Take us back. Do you remember much about the incident at all, or do you literally just remember waking up in hospital?
Yeah, I remember going out on patrol in the morning, and then about 4 days later I started coming around, and next thing I know I'm being told that I've lost my sight permanently.
When Daren sort of, you heard on the grapevine that Daren was planning this mad run, what did you think?
It's a great cause, and it's going to take a magnificent effort, but it's really worth it. I'm really proud of him.
It's not going to be easy, is it?
No, there's two extremes really. 1 minute I'm confident, the next minute it's what you're doing. Two extremes. I'm really looking forward to it. That's all I can say, and just hopefully hopefully we can make it. Yeah.
I thought he was completely mad, but I know he can do it because he's very determined, and I think he will do it. And I just would like everyone to sponsor him, because it'll be good for the dogs, they get some out of it, and good for Help for Heroes, which everyone should support. That is brilliant.
If his body can stand it, the mind certainly can, and I don't think you'd find any problems with Daren achieving this goal. He's a determined fella, and I know him well, and I'm sure he'll give it his best shot.
I ran a bit when I was younger, then like most kids gave it all up for the booze and the fags and the good life. I started really getting back into sport and football in my 30s, did a few marathons prior to that. I just keep myself basically fit, do a bit of training, bit of running. Haven't run a marathon for nearly 20 years, so who knows?
My name's Les Davey, and I'm really the motivator for Daren. As you know, Daren will be walking and running it, and I'll be cycling it. And when he walks, I'll walk. When he's got the ump, when he says things like, "I can't go on, Les, I can't go on," I've got to say, "Come on, we can do it," and really just getting him through it.
I'm the physio, sports therapist, the cook, the motivator, basically everything that the nutritionist, everything that kind of goes on behind all the other scenes. That's basically what I'm doing. The only thing I'm not doing is driving the RV, thank God.
I've just bought some saddles with gel in them, so my bum will hopefully be nice and comfy. So I'm going to get the bike sorted out so that I can rest my arms nice and comfortably on it. And we know it's going to be hard. It's not a holiday. This is going to be really, really hard. And there's going to be moments where we want to give up, but we won't. It's just we're made of different stuff. So.
He is going to be in pain. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And it's nice to see that someone wants to go through that amount of pain to give something back to one charity that he has. Obviously, he's been involved in for a very long period of time. The retired Greyhounds Trust, and then obviously that they help the heroes, which I think what he's doing, that little bit of pain he's putting himself through for a massive charity. That our boys and girls over there doing the stuff that they're doing. I think that's really grand. I think it's a good thing to give back.
Him doing this for charity, it was no surprise at all. It's fantastic, and it just sums him up as a person. Daren is the sort of person you'd want as a mate. He's just unbelievable, and no, it didn't surprise me at all.
Spending at least a month with three other guys in an RV is going to probably be the hardest thing for me. Not too keen on that side of it. But
we can cuddle up.
Yeah. But the idea is that is making sure that Daren just keeps he's healthy, he's as injury free as he possibly can be. It's going to be hard.
Well, we've met the team, and I think they're going to keep you amused en route, but it's going to be a long time, a month on the road with the driver and obviously Pete and Les as well, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think we'll need some distractions to take our mind off the job in hand, and I'm sure we'll get some with the characters I've got accompanying me on the journey. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have some fun along the way. I'm sure there'll be some tears of laughter and pain.
I strongly urge everybody to give a little something to Daren, because this is something that's going to take a lot of work to do, and the Greyhounds are going to benefit an awful lot out of this. So if people could dig deep, put something towards Daren's cause, and hopefully everybody is a winner then.
If anyone wants to follow your pain, follow your misery and your training and your route, how do they do that?
Well, they can follow us on Giveabitback.net, our website, where the route of our journey is there. They can also download a sponsorship form, perhaps hand them out in their local kennels, and and if they want to come down and see us on the day, we'll be walking, having our warm down every day. Bring your own dog and come and have a chat. Yeah, I really look forward to it.
Finally, one message for people that have backed the dogs, maybe have won a bit of money off the kind of dogs in the past. What would you urge them to do?
I would urge them all to please sponsor Daren in his efforts to do these marathons and give lots if they can.
Del, any advice, mate? It might have taken you 29 seconds, it might take me a bit more, but together we can give a bit back.